What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Oh, man. Whew. Let's see. First stream in a month. Just the way we do it around here, isn't it? Man, you don't know how exhausted I am right now. I mean, seriously, I'm exhausted. I just got done doing some like setting everything up for this scavenger hunt that I'm doing, and yeah, a lot of work. I just literally, I was doing like hours of physical, intense labor earlier, so I'm like up right now. But it's all good. It's all part of the job, right? It's like hard labor. It's like construction or something. So. All right, so I guess we'll talk about the scavenger hunt that's going to be on Friday. I've been working my ass off. My developer has been working his ass off. Jacob has been working his ass off. I did not realize how much work was going to go into this, because the last time I did a scavenger hunt, it was pretty easy to set up. It was like, it took like a week to set everything up because, it was very basic. But this one, we went all out with this one, and yeah, we like it's a handful, I'll tell you. But yeah, let me explain what's gonna happen here. So you guys remember the last one? We had 15 clues on the last one, and it took like 5 days to do. People were really struggling with it because this one has 50 clues in it. And they're way harder than the last ones and require a lot of physicality. The last ones didn't really, it was pretty easy. You figure it out, you go scan the thing, and you move on to the next one. It's like this one, you figure it out, and then you have to go and do like really to try to scan the thing. It's, even if they figure out a puzzle, some of them, it's going to take them like 1, 2, 3 hours to even get to it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, figuring out the puzzle, that's just the first step. And then you have to actually get to the thing, which might take multiple hours to do, depending on which one it is. So, yeah, it's going to be, I mean, let me put it this way. Last time I did this, it took me 1 day to plant everything. Maybe 2 days, I don't remember. It took me and Jacob 2 weeks to plant everything on this one. And we know all the answers. We know exactly where to go to put everything. It took us 2 weeks just to plant all the stuff. So, I mean, it's just been like 10 hours a day for the past 2 weeks, just driving around and climbing and just. So I'm curious to see how this goes. I'm curious to see how many people actually make it through the entire thing, because I think a lot of people are gonna give up in terms of like they're gonna see where they have to go and they're gonna be like, F that, like I'm not doing that, and they're just gonna give up. I mean, I'd be surprised if nobody gave up. But I think this one could go on for a while. If I don't give people the answers and all the hints and everything, I mean, I think it could last 2 weeks or longer, to be honest with you. But I've set myself up for that. We have created the most intricate and interactive experience for viewers and streamers to partake in this. Okay, we have, my developer, dude, I think he might be better than Kick's developers. I'm not even joking. He is so talented. He has come up with some really interesting things for everybody to interact with. So I'm going to show you what some of those things are. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to show you a couple of the things that we have in mind, and hopefully it all works out. I mean, we've been testing everything, for a while, so I took a lot of inspiration from RuneScape clue scrolls, I mean, the usual stuff. No green hot dogs. That was Victor last time, okay? Victor came up with the green hot dog thing. It wasn't me. So don't even blame me for that. I came up with 30 of the riddles this time. Jacob did the other 20. So, I mean, There's no, trust me, they're all solvable. There's nothing that requires some ridiculous thinking, but there is some interesting stuff they're gonna have to do. Okay, so basically, the people who are competing, they're gonna be downloading an app on their phone. It's it's called the Scavenger Hunt app that we made, and it's basically a 3D map of Austin, and you're gonna have to share your location on the app. If you don't share your location on the app, then the app doesn't open. Like it doesn't work. You have to share your location, or you cannot participate. It will kick you out of the app. And I have logs of everything, so if somebody tries to fake their location or something, like it'll be very obvious for me to tell, and then I'll just disqualify you. So they'll be downloading the app. They're gonna get this map. They're gonna see everyone's locations. Okay, that will be going on and off periodically. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be thinking, well, I don't really want my location being shown all the time because, when I go back to my house or hotel or something, I'm going to dox myself. Well, if you are done for the day, all you got to do is just log out. Just log out the app, and then your location is not being tracked anymore, and then you're good. So, but if you want to, participate again, then you have to log back in. Otherwise, you can't participate. You can't see anything. And I have logs of everything, so if people try to fucking cheese that, I'll just disqualify them. Yeah, these are just random names for the test. We were testing stuff, so we just added random different streamer names. Like, I mean, there's Eddie right there, like, you know what I mean? So, now there's going to be ways for the contestants to get advantages and disadvantages, right? So, for example, you see these chests. These chests are going to have coins inside of them, and they spawn randomly, or I can place one down wherever I want, and they will have a certain number of coins in them that they can collect, and they can use the coins to buy perks for themselves to make themselves have an advantage. So if they're competing, let's say you get a bunch of coins, they go to the store, they want to buy hide yourself from the map for an hour. You can do that, 20 coins, and you'll turn your location off for an hour, so people don't know where you are. So you might want to do that before you go to an RFID, and it might protect leaking the location of where it is. So and the coins, the only way to get them is by going to the chests in real life and then clicking a button on the app, and then it will collect the chest. That's the only way to get it. So there's no pay to win or anything. So, and then there's other ways. There's other things you can buy. You'll be able to buy a circle radius that's super expensive. I'm saying you got to spend hours collecting coins, like super expensive. But if you purchase it, it will give you like a 2-mile radius of where the next RFID is. So, and only the person who buys that perk will see it. Nobody else will see it. Only them. Obviously, all these perks are going to be turned off when they get to the last clue. Okay, so when people start getting to clue 50, you can't buy perks anymore. So you can't save all your coins and then get the circle radius on the last clue. You can't do that. It's only for clues 1 through 49, and then there's going to be another advantage that you can buy that will stop everybody else from being able to scan RFIDs for 10 minutes. So maybe if you see someone in first place, you just you buy that, and then they can't scan the 10 minutes, and it's only 10 minutes though, so people are going to have to work together to try to everyone over. Stuff like that. And those are the only things I've come up with so far. I could always just add stuff whenever, you know what I mean? It's not like I can never add stuff. So if anybody thinks of any good ideas, throw them my way in Discord, and then if it's a good idea, I'll add it. I'm just not, I've been worried. I've been thinking about everything else. I haven't had time to come up with a lot of ideas. Okay, so we have Chicken Andy's walking around. I can choose the chest type. So, okay, for example, I forgot to mention, there's going to be bronze, silver, and gold chests. Okay, the bronze and silver chests will have normal, fake money coins in them to purchase stuff. The gold chests will actually have real money. So if you collect a gold chest, you will actually get real money. I'll send you real money. And, first person who gets to the chest and collects it, obviously then it goes away. So you don't want to, so multiple people can't collect it. And it's going to be different amounts every time, It's not going to be like 1,000 every time, but so I can.
Hey Paul, it's Sam Pepper. Can I be a commentator for the event, please? Thanks, mate. Pepper Pals in the chat. Love you. Peggy, stop it, Peggy.
Nah, I don't need anybody else to commentate, just me. So I can place, chess wherever I want, etc. I can pretty much place anything down on the map whenever I want. I can put any asset that I want. I can put any circle that I want. Viewers can participate in this as well. So if you're, if you don't live in Austin and you don't, you can't be competing in real life, you can actually earn money yourselves by taking guesses. So you would go on my website. You don't have to download the app. So on my website, iceposeidon.com, there's going to be an interactive map. And I'm going to have an overlay on my stream of what the riddles are and what the clues are. If you as a viewer can figure out what the clues are and the contestants are, don't, you can choose a spot on the map. Like these are viewer names right here. These are the dots of the viewers. You can try to guess it yourself. And I'm not going to mention if a viewer guesses it right. I'm not like, no one's going to know if they guessed it right until somebody who's doing it in real life figures it out first, because obviously then, they're going to know like what it is. So, but when somebody figures it out in real life, then I will announce which viewer got the correct answer. And if nobody got the correct answer, then I'll just pick the viewer who's the closest to the correct answer. So for the guy who keeps spamming it, we have ChatGPT. I spent many hours, many long, grueling hours reverse engineering every single clue through AI. So there is no way that AI will give you the winner. Okay, I promise you. I mean, I'm not going to say AI can't help you. Sure, it can help in certain questions. But let me tell you that if you 100% think AI is going to give you the answer, you got another thing coming, because I spent hours and hours, grueling, horrible, tedious hours, reverse engineering it, everything, so the AI has no idea what you're asking it. And you know what? For some of them, I made the AI...
Sounds like an easy challenge for the Koreans, Joel, and Tameen. He-ho, he-ho, he-ho. They have been practicing in India with Deepak. He-ho, he-ho, he-ho.
They don't even speak English. Dude, they're not going to understand. They can't even speak English. You think they're going to understand riddles and metaphors? I want the person who wins this to be somebody who's actually smart. Okay? If the viewers know they have a chance to actually win the money for themselves, they're not going to tell the streamers what the answer is if the viewers are smarter than the people competing. So that means the people competing will have to figure it out for themselves. So, it's like annoying if the viewers just tell you all the answers and you're like a dumbass and you win, right? That's supposed to be smart people who win. I will be giving away...
So, is this just to prove to yourself that there is no streamer alive smarter than you? Kind of sounds like it.
I'm pretty smart, believe it or not. The EBZ angle rule still applies. So last time I said, EBZ angles, that was a rule. This ain't, because I have to watch your streams, okay? So I can see what's going on and like I can, observe everything. And if you're filming the ground, it's going to be stupid to watch. And I get it. People want to hide where they are so people don't, catch up with you. You want to scan it and stay in the lead so people don't catch up with you. But the way I have it set up right now, you shouldn't have to do that. One, your location is going to be on, so people will know where you are regardless. Okay? And then two, there's going to be a cooldown. So there's a 20-minute cooldown. So basically how this is going to work is first person to scan a clue for an RFID for a clue. There's there's now going to be a 20-minute cooldown for everybody else to scan that RFID. So that person can continue on to the next one and, move on. Everybody else, I assume what's going to happen is going to then race over to that RFID that he just found, and they're going to wait for the cooldown to go away, and then they're going to, try to scan it before other people scan it. And I wonder, I don't know how that's going to go, but it should be interesting. So the cooldown isn't to give the person in first place a chance to get in the lead more, because 20 minutes ain't obviously. Everyone's gonna converge to the RFID because they're probably gonna be able to figure out where it is after somebody solves it. The 20-minute cooldown is to force interaction with everybody, right? Now, one person may think, why would it matter? As long as you know where it is, it doesn't matter. 20-minute cooldown goes away, and then it's like you wait in line, single file line, you scan the thing, right? That's what people would think. But that's not going to happen because there's a ranking system, there's an ELO system. You have to consistently be one of the top 10 people to scan the RFIDs in order to qualify for the last clue for the prize money. Because last time, people were waiting in single file lines, and they were like, oh, you go first. And they were like being super polite and stuff. So there's an ELO system this time. So let's say you are number 40th to scan every time. Well, you're not going to qualify for the final one. You have to be like the top 10, top 20 consistently. You have to consistently do well. Otherwise, you are not going to be able to qualify for the last one. You have to have a certain amount of ELO points. You'll see everyone's going to have their points, points next to their names. It'll be a point system. They're going to want to scan it before everybody else. So if there's 20 people waiting for the cooldown to go away, you have to make sure you're one of the first people who scan it before the other 19 people. Which, like I said, I don't really know how that's going to go. But this is the most fair way to make it happen, for sure. Because, otherwise, last time you could just copy what everybody else did, get to the end, and you could win. And that's what happened. Somebody won who just copied what everybody else did and didn't even do anything themselves. They didn't solve anything. They didn't do anything. He just stole it from Tazo, and then he won. So the ELO system allows people who actually put in the effort to figure the first, it gives them an advantage. Instead of if you're just a copycat going around copying people, well, you're not going to be able to probably do that well. How it works, how the priority works is person who scanned the most RFIDs, person with the most amount of points. That's the priority. So if if you don't have more points than somebody else, and then you scan the newest RFID, you're going to be in first place. But then when everybody else scans it and they have more points than you, it's going to bump you down in the leaderboard, okay? But yeah, what do you guys think is going to happen? If there's 20 people, 30 people waiting for the cooldown to go away, just try to scan the thing. I don't know what's going to happen. What do you think's going to happen? Obviously I don't want people to do anything illegal because I don't want anybody to go to jail. But I think some people, are going to get a little crazy out there. But they just have to be mindful that this is not a controlled event where you're like signing waivers and everything. Like, this isn't the Hunger Games. This isn't the prison stream. Everything you do you're liable for. So if you go out there swinging on people, you're probably going to go to jail. So I'm just throwing that out there. You got to be real careful what you do. You're going to be liable for everything that you do. As long as that doesn't stop you.
Nick White hasn't been live in 2 months.
Nick White has quit streaming because he said Chicken Andy makes more than him on KCIP, so he quit streaming.
Not gonna lie, that would make me quit too. But goddamn, to go out like that is Duh.
Well, I don't even think that's accurate. I don't think Chicken Andy makes more than him if he were to
I
stream.
mean, I wouldn't want to get close to that. But then again, I've also been getting harassed for a decade. So everyone else that exists. So you know what I mean?
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.